What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past few days. We have some big topics to discuss, of course, with the failed transfer of Nico Williams. Barcelona now shifting their focus in the left wing market on Luis Diaz and Marcus Rashford. We'll provide you with all the updates around those two movements, how Barcelona are pursuing it, the price and conditions of the two deals. We will give you guys every single information needed. We have some updates on sales as well for Oriol, Romeu, Pablo Torre's move to Mallorca, and mainly around goalkeeper shakeup, with there being the official announcement of Szczęsny's renewal and Iñaki Peña and Stegen are all but out the door at Barcelona, and we'll discuss both their futures and how they're going to be leaving the club this summer. And finally, we're also going to discuss the implications of UEFA's €15 million fine to Barcelona for breaching their FFP regulations. Before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below, and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by Number One Foot. Number One Foot is by far the best replica jersey website on the market, and it's not even close. They have a variety of different items at the absolute best prices. They sent me two kits recently. First one is the retro Barcelona kit, the home kit, which I'm currently wearing right now, and also as well the second kit for that season in the blue edition. Oh my god, like, the stitching is fantastic, the quality is, superb. Feels like I have the actual, original kit for a fraction of the price. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get 10% off your order. That's BOY. Use it at checkout, and all orders above $80 as well will receive free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Hit the top link in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past few days. The first topic we're going to discuss is, of course, our main priority for this summer, which is to reinforce a left winger, and we're waiting now to see how Barcelona do pursue that. Says as the targets that we currently have are A, not that great, B, a bit complicated to proceed with as well. So firstly, here from Fernando Polo from Mundo Deportivo, he came out saying the situation as of right now after Nico Williams' decision is that Barcelona will now reactivate their interest in Luis Diaz as their plan A. Diaz and his agent are pushing for a move from Liverpool to Barcelona. Deco is a long favored fan of Luis Diaz, whose contract ends in 2 years. The tragic death of Diogo Jota has paused Diaz's transfer push as of now. Marcus Rashford is a plan B, eager to join and ready to lower his wages. Rashford is unwanted by Manchester United coach Ruben Amorim, and United value him at around 40, but if they can agree to a loan due to a lack of demand, that could help Barcelona, and Barcelona do see him as like a low cost option. And the final decision hinges on Diaz's availability and Rashford's flexibility. Now, Luis Araujo from Marca came out saying that Barcelona has resumed the search for a left winger, turning their attention to Luis Diaz. Although his option is very difficult, Deco does favor Diaz, but Liverpool is unwilling to sell, having recently rejected a major offer from Bayern Munich. The recent and tragic and sad death of Diogo Jota further reduces the likelihood of a transfer, and any deal would cost around €80 million. On Rashford, Luis Araujo came out saying that Rashford is gaining momentum as a top option. He has consistently expressed his desire to play for Barcelona, including during the last transfer window when the club showed interest. He remains patient and committed, having clearly communicated to Barcelona's sporting director his willingness to accept a significant pay cut to join the team as well. And Rashford officially, of course, a few days ago informed Manchester United that he wants to leave the club, and United has now delayed his return to pre-season. Fernando Polo also came out saying that now it's clear to everyone in the market that any player that wanted to join Barcelona, especially this early in July, must do so unconditionally as long as the 1-1 rule isn't in place and there's no salary space. It's a tough ask, but the club believes someone will take that gamble, and they think Luis Diaz might be that player. Fabrizio Romano has also confirmed the news as well, saying that Barcelona intends to approach Luis Diaz, Liverpool for Luis Diaz soon. The player is also keen on the move. He's Barcelona's main target for left wing position, and Barcelona is aware that negotiations will be difficult as two previous approaches have already been rejected before, of course, Nico Williams pulled his stunt. Now, Goal came out saying that Barcelona right now is working with the idea of Luis Diaz and Rashford, but has other options as well in event those don't happen, who have already been followed by the club for years now. First one is Anto Nuso, now of RB Leipzig, was heavily scouted during his time at Club Brugge. Kenan Yildiz was nearly signed by Barcelona in 2022 before Juventus took him from Bayern. His value since has risen after the Club World Cup. Juventus remained interested in Araujo, which could of course maybe impact any further negotiation. Barcelona has also been following Monaco's Ben Saiger closely this season, along with Miguel Akluj, and Sky reports on Ben Saiger have been partially positive. So you just see that we don't get Diaz or Rashford. We're getting into these shite options. To be honest, I wouldn't even waste my time, breath, or energy on it. I do rate Kenan Yildiz, but doubt Juventus will let him go by any means necessary. Now, Rashford Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona now feel a bit more urgency to strengthen their attack due to Musiala's absence, a situation that works against Barcelona's interest, as Bayern are already targeting same players as us, like Luis Diaz and Rashford, and this will force Barcelona to act swiftly, and they don't want to see one of their targets slip away. This is going to be a little bit of a problem for Barcelona as well, because Bayern Munich need a left winger. Sane is leaving. I think on top of that, they already wanted a left winger, and all the top ones are being tracked now by both Barcelona and Bayern Munich, and they're going to be putting up a fierce bidding war. They want both. They have, Luis Diaz and Rashford as their plan A and B, just like Barcelona. It'll be interesting to see who ends up where, if they can get out of their club. I think Rashford will definitely end up, probably, I would say, a good guess would be one of these two clubs, but with Diaz really comes down to Liverpool themselves. But do not forget, especially now with Musiala being out for the first half of the season, I think he's going to be out for the rest of the calendar year. Bayern Munich now are even more desperate than they were for a left winger. Now, Nico Williams came out saying that Rashford wants to join Barcelona, but the club is not currently moving for him as of right now. Rashford is seen as a backup option if Luis Diaz deal does not go through. Besides, the player's interest is wearing the Barcelona shirt. United would likely agree to a loan deal with a purchase option. So again, Barcelona have Rashford on their list, but they're not approaching him or making any moves for him whatsoever until Luis Diaz's deal is 100% off. And on Luis Diaz, Nico Williams came out saying that Barcelona remains focused on signing a winger, with Luis Diaz being amongst the top target. He has a verbal agreement with Liverpool to leave if an offer of around 82 million euros comes in, the amount that Barcelona is not willing to match, even though he is Deco's top priority. And finally, the big one is again from Fernando Polo, saying that Barcelona is currently focused on signing Luis Diaz, Deco's top target. However, Diaz is in no rush to force a move, and given the tragic death of his teammate Diogo Jota in the accident, it's important to approach talks with his club sensitively. That being said, things aren't entirely calm. Bayern are circulating around Diaz. There has been a few, I would say, I think it was Christian Folk that came out saying that apparently Luis Diaz has agreed personal terms with Bayern Munich. This has not been confirmed by any of the big journalists out there. That's of course some of the smaller ones from the Bayern Munich side. This is why, I'm not even going to say it, but I think 80 million for Diaz is too much. I mean, we are desperate. We are on our knees for left winger, but I would rather not sign a left winger than sign Luis Diaz for 60 million specifically. I'd go in with maybe like 60, 65. If they say no, I'd walk away. What do you waste my time? I don't think he's worth 70. Yes, he's probably the best left winger that's approachable and gettable on the market right now. Of course, there's other left wingers better than him, Kavicha, you can say Vinny, or whoever you want to say, but he is the best of the ones that can, leave. Rashford for me is looking like he's probably the one. If I were to guess right now, I think we won't get Diaz. I think we'll get Rashford, just because he's super cheap. Again, he's all right, but nothing that I would die on a hill for or twerk for. But we talked about, of course, beginning of the summer to really strengthen in this position. This needs a top player. If we get Rashford, we aren't getting that. I mean, we can, but we're going to be gambling like no tomorrow. At least with Diaz, you are guaranteed a top player. Just that, age is not that great, and the price as well. But versatility, 1v1, movement, and not the role that he plays. He's fantastic. I've always said this. I think he's a great option. I think he's a fantastic player. Just his age and his price, I'm not, so keen on. So we'll see how things do turn out in regards to Barcelona reinforcing the left wing. They're going to take their time now a little bit. Doubt we get one now to start La Liga. Of course, La Liga starts August 16th. If I think Barca, boy, that's a month and a half. It's not going to make it. I mean, I think this deal will probably get done in the beginning of August. By then he has to come in, recuperate, blah blah. Then we'll see what happens with the FFP as well. But I think we will definitely sign a left winger, but whether they come in before the start of the La Liga season, I think is a bit in limbo as things currently stand. So wait and see how things do play out. But again, Luis Diaz plan A, Rashford plan B is Barcelona's current approach in regards to reinforcing the left wing position. Now, along with the left winger, the club are also looking to invest in a fullback this summer, and the name that has been talked about a lot over the past few days is Denzel Dumfries, as he does, of course, have that €25 million release clause that's set for about the next 5 to 10 days. Luis Rovamarca came out saying that as of right now, Barcelona are not considering signing Denzel Dumfries. Barcelona will head on to the next season with Jules Koundé after his excellent previous season, and Flick has a lot of faith in Hector Fort as well, although he didn't play much last season. And of course, the option at right back is Eric Garcia. Also, the club's FFP situation is to be considered as of this moment, as Barcelona are not in position to register any new signings as things currently stand. Now again, the positive here is that this leads to a left back signing. Again, we just need a full back signing. I think we need someone of semi-decent quality. I would bin Gerard Martin and get a left back in. Armando is screaming my name. I don't have no problem betting on Koundé and Hector Ford next season at right back. Then Eric Garcia kind of has that third/second string option. I'm very happy with that. We just need to break away. What do you want to, put Hector Ford on the left-hand side, bring in a right back, or vice versa? A full back is needed this summer. No two ways about it. I think Denzel Dumfries is a good player, great market opportunity, but with the quickness of the deal and Barcelona fully focused more so on the left wing as we should be, this one will probably slip away for the price it's currently set at. We'll wait and see if anybody activates it. I'm actually very curious to see if anyone actually goes out there and goes for Dumfries, but it looks like Barcelona will pass on it for now, just probably due to the time constraint. And I would probably agree with it as well. Wouldn't say he's that much of a good bargain for what Barcelona need, but I think I have to emphasize that a fullback signing is needed 1,000,000,000%. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to be leaving Barcelona over the past few days. First up is a Catalonia combo in Oriol Romeu and Pau Victor. Mundo Deportivo have come out saying that Girona has not ruled out the return of Oriol Romeu or Pau Victor as of today. Oriol Romeu has 1 season left on his contract with Barcelona, and he knows fully well that he's not part of Flick's plans. Pau Victor has not yet announced his imminent future. He is under contract until 2029 and is open to a loan move. Betis have also shown interest, but there have been no further developments. With a winger expected to arrive and Flick's planning to use other players as backup for Lewandowski, his chances have decreased. However, if no new signings are made, Pau Victor could stay. We need our friendly Catalan neighbors to hook us up. They had a pretty poor season. I think these two would be great enforcements with them. We can do a 2-for-1 deal. $5 million, you get both. if you take Pau Victor on loan, we'll throw in Romeu for free. Whatever we gotta do, just to get rid of Romeu. Apparently, according to reports, Romeu might be there this Sunday on the 13th for preseason checkup, which would be an absolute madness. But I guess we gotta respect him, and he's been cooperating, so I guess it's not too bad of a scenario. But hopefully our friendly Catalonia neighbors can hook us up here and take some players off our hands. I think Pablo would be a great player for Girona. I think Romeu, let's be honest, he's completely washed. Just be there for training sessions and stuff like that. But they have both, I think, as of right now, like the report mentions, have no use to Barcelona. So we'll wait and see how things do play out. But hopefully we can find destinations for both Romeu and Pau Victor sooner rather than later. Now, a player that could potentially probably not leave Barcelona this summer is Ronald Araujo. Of course, like I told you in the earlier report when we talked about those backup options for Diaz and Rashford, the report mentioned from Goal that Juventus are showing some interest again in Araujo. But Matteo Marito did come out saying that there has been no contact between Araujo or Juventus as of late, so maybe nothing really in fruition there. Again, Araujo does have that cheap release clause right now. It's been about 9 days. No one's come knocking. Not surprised, to be honest. I think he has a €60 million release clause for, I want to say, the entire month of July, or like the first 10 days of July, something stupid like that, but no one's going to come in for him. Again, with Araujo, I think this is his last season, kind of do or die kind of thing. If someone comes in and pays it, I won't be bothered. But if someone maybe bids 50 or more, maybe I'd consider it. I think anything under that, it's not worth my time even contemplating. I know some people will probably sell him for 20 million tomorrow, but I think that's a bit of an agenda narrative there. But we're expecting Araujo to be next season. Could potentially be the first team captain going into next season as well. Crazy scenes that. But we'll see how things do play out. But as of right now, no real movements or anything in regards to the exit of Ronald Araujo. Now, a position for Barcelona where we are expecting a lot of movement in over the next month or so is in the goalkeeper department. The first domino effect has fallen into place. The club announced on Sunday that Szczęsny has officially renewed his contract until 2027, which is a 2-year deal. We thought it was going to be a 1+1, but it is a 2-year deal on paper renewal for Szczęsny. Again, we already knew that he's going to confirm and, accepted the renewal. What was it? Beginning of June, and now a month later, it's official. There have been reports coming out afterwards from Ronald Araujo and Gabriel Sanz that Szczęsny's renewal is for 2 seasons, but the second year is conditional on his performances during the first season, usually measured by him playing at least 50% of matches. So it is a 2-year official renewal, but it can be 1 year if he plays less than 50% of the matches he's available for this season. So for next upcoming season, should I say. So we'll see how that plays out. I think he probably will stay next season, probably move on and maybe probably retire afterwards. He'll be the next player to retire at Barcelona, probably after, who was it? Piqué was the last, I think, player to retire at Barcelona. I think before that was Aguero, and I think we're probably looking at Szczęsny being the next player to retire from Barcelona. But of course, with Szczęsny staying, we are expecting some exits. Firstly, on Iñaki Peña, Gabriel Sanz and Oriol came out saying that Iñaki Peña is assessing offers as Barcelona resumes training on July 13th, knowing that he won't get minutes under Hansi Flick. He won't force a stay to leave as a free agent in 2026 for a signing bonus. He has no intention of clashing with the club. If he returns, it will be to make the most of the preparation. His priority is to play, get minutes, and leave if the right sporting project comes. Though Celta, Vigo, and Valencia were linked, no movements have happened, and a transfer abroad now seems more likely. He could, although, leave on a free with a letter of freedom with the club open to that option. Fabrizio Romano confirmed this as well, since Iñaki Peña is ready to leave Barcelona this summer following Joel Garcia's arrival and Szczęsny's renewal. He's now exploring new options. So wait and see what we fall upon. Hopefully we can get some sort of fee for him, or percent of a future sale or a buyback or just something. I wouldn't just hopefully let him just go for free without absolutely anything. To be fair, he probably won't even recoup anything for us in the future, because I don't really rate him that much, but definitely one to watch out for in my opinion, to see how things do play out. But a keeper that we all need to leave is, of course, Marc-André ter Stegen. Now, Liverpool has come out saying that Barcelona's bet is, of course, on Joel Garcia and Szczęsny combo, with the Polish keeper staying until 2027. That trend is confirmed. As for ter Stegen, who's under contract until 2028, Hansi Flick has to inform him of the situation as soon as they meet, so the German goalkeeper knows what's going on. So again, no official communication from Barcelona to ter Stegen in any capacity whatsoever thus far. We of course signed Garcia 3 weeks ago, and we've just renewed Szczęsny of course a few days ago. The warning signs and the hints are there, but ter Stegen is a bit of a rat, needs to actually hear it from somebody, and we are expecting Flick to give that to him. I would say probably in the next few days, whether it be maybe Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Of course, everyone's back on Sunday. Whether they do it before then, after then, we'll have to wait and see. Fernando Polo also and Gabriel Sanz have come out saying that ter Stegen's camp continues to emphasize that he has a contract until 2028, and also point out that he restructured that deal to help the club financially. His priority, the stress, is to stay at Barcelona. First of all, fuck him. He's using that now against us, as if we're fucking rats. Oh, didn't I help you guys? Help me and let me stay. Up yours. We appreciate you. Shout out to you. We gave you your flowers then. But now look what happened. You didn't go to Inter to support the team in the Champions League semi-final. You didn't give the captain speech at the Villarreal last game of the season. Halas. What you did is null and void. Don't be using that. Oh, we helped you guys. No. Flick is expected to speak with ter Stegen either this week, possibly before or on the day of medicals, or next week once everyone is back. Exactly what I just said. Now we'll wait and see when Flick will officially tell ter Stegen, time for you to go, blood. It's time to go. If it was me, I would definitely do it on Saturday. Day before, be like, yeah, we don't need you. Start looking for other. I probably would have done it already, but if we're now getting to it, I would hope. I mean, the question is, if he's there, what's going to be the mood and the morale on the 13th? The captain of the club being told to leave. Everyone knows he has to leave, and he's gonna leave. And he's walking around with the armband with his dick out, like, oh, look at me, I'm the big bullocks, guys. Whoa. So that's going to be a situation that I would personally try to avoid. So we'll see how that plays out in the future. But I do expect, again, Iñaki Peña and ter Stegen both to leave the club by the end of this summer. And final piece of goalkeeping news, not with the first team, but with the B team, in Aaron Jakubashvili. Of course, very, very highly rated goalkeeper for Barca Athletic. Of course, won the treble, under 19 treble, under the stewardship of Julian Belletti and Nico Williams. Of course, he renewed his contract in May. Jakubashvili is likely to go out on loan, with Diego coaching, and Eder Aller will be the goalkeepers for Barca Athletic next season, with Iker Rodriguez and Maxi Bonfil with the under 19 juvenile A side. And Gigantes confirmed that Gerard Piqué's Andorra want Aaron Jakubashvili and the coach Ibai Gomez has identified the Hungarian as an option to reinforce the goalkeeper position. Now, I've heard about Aaron Jakubashvili for quite some time now. He is a keeper that is very, very, very highly rated at Barcelona. Probably in my lifetime, the keeper that has had the most hype around him. They're saying that he's going to be the next best thing. There's some hype, of course, around Iñaki Peña. There's some hype around Arnau Antanes as well. A little bit of Jordi Messi back in the day, if you do remember that. But none of them really, came to fruition. But Aaron Jakubashvili has big praise behind the scenes. So hopefully he goes out there to, higher division and gets some proper minutes. I think this is a great move for him and for Barcelona. And we'll wait and see what his final destination will be. But don't forget again about those PK, Andorra, and Barcelona links. PK is looking to help the club, to help players come up, to of course help his team to, do well in the Segunda, but also to help those players get some second division minutes. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past few days. Firstly, on the sale of Pablo Torre. Of course, on Sunday, I dropped the Here We Go video where it's confirmed that he will be moving to Mallorca. He's already liking, Mallorca posts on Instagram 24/7, so he's already there at that point. But Gabriel Sanz Deportivo came out saying that Torre's transfer to Mallorca is not yet finalized yet. Both clubs are working on the final details. The agreement includes either a buyback clause or a percent of a future sale. The player won't take part in the transaction on 13th. You definitely will not be there whatsoever, as the club considers the transfer basically all but completed, pending final documentations and signature. So a few details need to be honed out. Again, the 5 million fee is there, but the add-ons is what's the question mark. Will we have a buyback? Will we have the percent of future sale? Will we have both? Will the percentage of future sale be a set percentage? Will it be capital gain or whatever it may be? So we're still waiting on those final details, but he will not be a Barcelona player next season, and they're going to not be a Barcelona player anymore as of probably this weekend. He'll not be in the train session as well on the 13th. This Sunday he'll make that move to Mallorca. Great move for him and for all parties. Just waiting now for those final details to be honed out. Now, with all the preseason talk in this video so far, we do have some updates on the preseason Asia tour and what youth players will be on that plane to Asia with the first team. One of them is Ibrahim Diaz. Sport have come out saying that before heading on vacation, Barcelona told Ibrahim Diaz he'd get a chance to train with the first team in preseason and give him a muscle building plan to prepare physically, a plan he's followed strictly in Mali and now in France. Ibrahim is back in Europe after his break in Africa, training in full Barcelona gear in Paris. He's about to arrive in top shape and will travel with Barcelona. Will travel to Barcelona this week and will be part of the Asia tour. Big plus there. And the other one is Rooney Bargi, the new sign that hopefully will be announced officially in the next 48 to 72 hours. Romano came out saying the deal has been completed, and even he has completed some of his first medical checkups for Barcelona. I think the first half of his medical or whatever it may be. And also Rooney Bargi's signing is going to be finalized this week, and he will do preseason with the first team so that Hansi Flick and Deco can watch him in action. So his moment then, the probably decision will be made then whether to keep him with the first team, send him to Barca Athletic, or to loan him out, with already, I believe, Mallorca and Betis showing interest in a loan for Rooney Bargi. So we'll wait and see how that materializes. But there's two youngsters there that will be on the tour that's technically being called up from the B team, and there will be a few more to come in the next few days. And the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is in regards to Barcelona being fined by UEFA 15 million euros for breach of their financial fair play rules. Of course, we already talked about this a few weeks ago on the channel, that apparently the fine was supposed to be 60 million, but then Joan Laporta would negotiate with Safran, the president of UEFA, and he brought that down from 60 to 15. The 15 is conditioned based on us recovering the FFP regulations ASAP in the next year or so. There's like restrictions that it's 15 for now, and if you fail those restrictions, it goes up even more. So as long as we comply with those restrictions, everything will be a-okay. But 50 million down the drain, which kind of, it is what it is, but we made enough money next season that hopefully it won't hurt the balance book too much. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing I want to first, of course, is your thoughts on the left winger signing. Who would you go for? Luis Diaz, Marcus Rashford, or another name? And secondly and finally, your thoughts on the goalkeeper shakeup that's happening in the squad. What are your thoughts on it? What would you do in those kind of areas and movements as well? Your thoughts on Ter Stegen, potentially leaving Iñaki Peña as well for free, for nothing, or for a price. Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.